Hello, Utes. This is Katie at Seabrook United Methodist, and today we are going to talk about what we're going to talk about next week. I have been racking my brain trying to come up with today's lesson, and it is just not there yet. But I can give you kind of a soft preview, and maybe you can help me out by reaching out and sharing with me your thoughts. But I want to talk about evil. I want to talk about the word evil. And in studying this word and how it is used in the Bible this week, I have fallen through so many rabbit holes. And a friend has just sent me additional references so that I can actually look at Greek vocabulary. So I am not ready to go into a huge spiel tonight. I am, however, ready to tell you the inspiration for this lesson. And that inspiration is the Lord's Prayer. Last week, it deliver us from evil. The line, deliver us from evil, it always catches me off guard. And for some reason, it just stood out last week, and it made me want to once again go back and visit. What does evil mean? And Monday morning, I checked my phone, and my verse of the day was 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3, which is another one that says evil. But the Lord is faithful, and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. Well, that's all I needed to start researching. So, research I have. And I'm just not done yet. So, when I started researching 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3, in my very handy study Bible, we're with this one again. It offers, it says, go check out these other two verses. So that's what we're going to do. The first place it sends us is Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. It may be familiar to you. This then is how you should pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. From the evil one. And that's it. There's more to what we say in a church service, but that it stops with the evil one in that prayer, in that chapter, in that verse. So you look at the notes for that reference to the evil one. And what my study Bible says is a similar Jewish evening prayer meant not, do not let us be tempted. It was, do not let us fail when we are tested. That's very different. Before I get lost in that stream of consciousness, I'm going to go to the second place that 2 Thessalonians referenced, and that is John 17:15. And that is My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. This is when Jesus is praying for his disciples. Protect them from the evil one. So, who is the evil one? I'm willing to bet one of the first places your mind went was the devil or Satan. But before you get too lost in that, let me take us back to Matthew and say once again that the common Jewish evening prayer was not, "Don't let us be tempted." It was, "Don't let us fail if we are tested," which is very different. That is very different from kind of giving responsibility to the evil one. And I hope that makes sense. But it gets me thinking. What if we are the evil one? What if I mentioned in the last lesson that I am my own worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. I am the only one who can hold me back. You are the only one who can hold you back, and so on and so forth. So what if when it says, "Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one," what it's actually saying is, help us be strong in all tests of our faith, thereby freeing us from the thing that will hold us back, which is ourselves. That would mean that we are not victims of evil, that we can become the evil one for ourselves, which also means that we can control the evil one, which is ourselves. It makes me think back to in Genesis, and we're just doing stream of consciousness now, because again, next week I will have a more thought out lesson. But in this quest to understand what evil means, what it means to me, what the word means in context within the pages of the Bible, bringing my quadrilateral to the table, what does evil mean? It makes me think back to Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. When Eve is tempted by the serpent. I once asked you guys who the serpent was, and the first answer out of the gate was the devil. And I gotta remind you, the devil is not mentioned. In fact, according to my study Bible, my study Bible goes over it provides this very interesting article about serpents and their symbolism in the ancient Near East and the surrounding cultures of the ancient Hebrews. The serpent represented wisdom and death. So I think it's kind of fitting that that particular animal is what's hanging around the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So then we go to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. What does that mean? There's that word again. Well, another really cool excerpt in my study Bible goes into this this article about hang on. We've done the serpent. About Satan. Satan was Satan wasn't really mentioned like we understand Satan as a being until the New Testament. But that name, that word is commonly associated with the evil one or evil. And I'm sorry, I'm telling you, so many rabbit holes. Whoa. Okay. So Satan is a word that that the definition is adversary. It's not an intrinsically evil thing. It is just that thing that is against God, that takes you away from God's plan, so or his vision, which is to love. So let's see. It is okay. The Hebrew word is synonymous with accuser or adversary. We should consider this word in the context of the Bible a title or function of the subject. It does not mean evil, although the two words are forever linked through the progress of Christianity. Kind of changes things. It puts more responsibility on us as individuals, which I like. We are not victims here. We own our mistakes, and we grow from them, hopefully. So that's a precursor to what we're going to talk about next week, and I hope that got you thinking. I encourage you to look at your Bibles and look up the word evil or evildoer. I got a very, very big list. I'm telling you, lots of rabbit holes. But when you're looking at your Bibles this week, take a minute and shift your thinking for a second to not away from the evil one, and change it to my bad self. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It changes everything. Everything. when you think about it like that. I don't know. I can't wait till I can just lay my mind out there for you guys, because it's teeming right now. So, evil. What is it? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? Is it anyway, you get it. You get it. So, I can't wait. So, in the meantime, I'm going to read Psalm 23, which is my favorite. It's so cliche, but it is my favorite. We had to memorize it when I was a kid. And this is a little different in my Bible, but if you know it, read along. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures and along still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me along the path of righteousness for his name's sake. His rod and staff, they comfort me. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For you are with me. You prepare a table before me. I screwed up. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. I love that imagery. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So aside from my little blunder where I mixed up a few lines, but think about this psalm considering a new viewpoint about evil. Consider the Lord's Prayer with a whole different viewpoint. I can't wait to hear what you think. I'll see you next week.